भारत के संदर्भ में ये बहुत ही आवश्यक है नैरेटिव के मायाजाल को समझना। 1947 तक ये सब नैरेटिव चला, समझ में आता है। 1947 के बाद बदलना चाहिए था। 1947 से पहले we were ruled by aliens, and after 1947 those who took over from them, they were alienated from the ethos of this country. This must be the only country in the world where the people are still confused about their own identity. गांधी जी ने हिंद स्वराज में 1909 में लिखा था कि no two Englishmen are alike the way two Indians are. Decolonization of Indian mind started in the real sense in 2014. In 2014, we were the 10th largest economy. Now we are the 5th largest economy. We have overtaken Britain, once our colonial masters, but we are destined to become. We are Sanatan. Sanatan means what? जो नित्य प्रति पुरातन भी है और नित्य प्रतिदिन नूतन भी है। So we are not a people who are stuck at Vedas or Upanishads or Brahma Sutras or Puranas. We are people who try to build on that. Ideas can always be challenged. Ideas can always be revised. And we have to be very and careful about ideologies and creeds which claim that they have the last word and after that nothing is possible.
Namaskar and welcome to this special show, Meet the Author. Today we have a very special personality, a senior journalist, an intellectual, a person who has written extensively on issues ranging from Hindu-Muslim relations, partition, the entire Punjab issue, and who has been a veteran journalist, a politician, two-time member of parliament in Rajya Sabha, Bharatiya Janata Party's vice president, an intellectual of a different league who is accepted and respected across the board, श्री बलबीर पुंज जी। बलबीर पुंज जी की नई पुस्तक आई है। आज इसी पुस्तक पर चर्चा के लिए वी हैव स्पेशली इनवाइटेड बलबीर जी टू डिस्कस व्हाई नैरेटिव and why in a book form. Balbir ji, welcome to this show.
Thank you, Ketkar, for saying such nice things about me. Now, it's a very interesting question. Why should a regular columnist try to become an author? In fact, I've been writing for almost half a century now. And I've lost count of the number of words I've written or the number of articles I've written. But one thing about the columns which appear in newspapers and magazines, their shelf life is very small. And then there was a suggestion by many friends that I should be penning down whatever so-called wisdom I had gathered in a book form. But I think the cutting edge to this idea, the trigger, was Manye Dattaji's suggestion that I must write a book. Now, your second question is,
why narrative?
Why narrative? आपको मैं एक बात बताता हूँ। इस पुस्तक का शीर्षक नैरेटिव, अंग्रेजी का शब्द, किताब सारी हिंदी में, और हम लोगों ने जब शीर्षक रखने की सोची तो शीर्षक सोचा विमर्श का मायाजाल। ये विमर्श जो है वो नैरेटिव की भावना को प्रकट नहीं करता। तब मुझे लगा कि बात तो सही है, क्योंकि मैंने अपनी पुस्तक में कितनी बार नैरेटिव शब्द का प्रयोग किया है। तो नैरेटिव के लिए
आपके लेखों के शीर्षकों में भी बहुत बार नैरेटिव आया।
तो नैरेटिव जो है ये हिंदी में क्या कहेंगे, संस्कृत में क्या कहेंगे, तो खोज शुरू की। तो फिर समझ में आया कि भाषाओं की सीमा होती है। अगर हमारे यहाँ नैरेटिव नाम की कोई अवधारणा नहीं है तो हमको भी नैरेटिव शब्द को वैसे के वैसा स्वीकार कर लेना चाहिए। भारत के संदर्भ में ये बहुत ही आवश्यक है नैरेटिव के मायाजाल को समझना, क्योंकि 1857 की जब क्रांति हुई, असफल हो गई, दबा दी गई, और अंग्रेजों को समझ में आया कि अगर देश में चिरस्थायी रूप से राज करना है तो हम इन सब से नहीं लड़ सकते, इनको आपस में लड़वा कर ही हम राज कर सकते हैं। तो मेहनती लोग थे, परिश्रमी लोग थे, अध्ययनशील लोग थे, उन्होंने भारत के अलग अलग पक्ष आयामों को उन्होंने अध्ययन किया उसका, और करीब 7-8 भारत के समाज में फॉल्ट लाइन जिसे कहेंगे
उसको आइडेंटिफाई,
उनको चिन्हित किया, और चिन्हित करने के बाद एक वर्ग को दूसरे वर्ग से लड़ाने के लिए उन्होंने एकेडमिक पैराडाइम तैयार किए, और एकेडमिक पैराडाइम अब तैयार हो गए तो उनको डिस्पेंस करने का, समाज तक वो पहुंचे उसकी व्यवस्था करनी थी। तो 1850 में उन्होंने मद्रास प्रेसिडेंसी, कलकत्ता प्रेसिडेंसी और बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी, तीनों में विश्वविद्यालय शुरू किए
1856 के आसपास। लेकिन उसके लेकिन नींव वैसे तो मैकॉले की मिनट से एक बार डल चुकी थी,
वो विकसित हुआ, वहीं से विकसित हुआ, और उसका परिणाम ये हुआ कि हम लोगों में जो अंतर विरोध थे, पर अंतर विरोधों के साथ हम रहना जानते थे, और उन्होंने बना दिया कि अगर आप अलग हैं तो आप एक दूसरे के स्वाभाविक शत्रु हैं। और 1947 तक ये सब नैरेटिव चला, समझ में आता है। 1947 के बाद बदलना चाहिए था, पर बदला नहीं। कारण ये कि 1947 से पहले we were ruled by aliens, and after 1947 those who took over from them, they were alienated from the ethos of this country, and they continued with the same distorted narrative which they had inherited, which they had internalized. तो ये जो पुस्तक है ये मूलतः एक तो नैरेटिव का महत्व क्या है उसको बताती है। एक वाक्य में कहूँ, if I were to put in one sentence, narrative is something which defines you in your own eyes and in the eyes of others.
Thank you for elaborating on that. But my understanding, Balbir ji, of narrative is basically you narrate stories. And what we have lost, perhaps, is the idea of telling your own story with your own prism. We have been, in fact, on the other way round, we have started perceiving ourselves from the prism of others. And that is why this idea of, oh, Hindu means only casteism, oh, India means always divided in linguistic identities, there was no sense of unity or nationhood for that matter. These were the things that not just prevailed after independence, in fact, post 1960s, since communists took over the intellectual baton from the Congress, they were further perpetuated and new fault lines were created in the society.
You are absolutely correct. You have hit the nail on the head. And if you look at the subtitle of this book, it says, कौन है हम, क्या है हमारी पहचान? This must be the only country in the world where the people are still confused about their own identity. I will just refer to a very small incident. You know, Rahul Gandhi, he was on his Bharat Jodo Yatra, and Gujarat elections were taking place at that time. Campaigning was being done. Now I'm quoting, not exactly quoting, but in a way quoting Rahul ji. He said, he was addressing a meeting, एक तो उनको आदिवासी कहा, ये टर्मिनोलॉजी जो है ये अंग्रेजों की बनाई हुई है। आदिवासी मीन द ओरिजिनल हैबिटेट, उसका अर्थ ये है बाय इम्प्लीकेशन कि बाकी लोग जो हैं
बाहर से, there are certain communities, those are indigenous and some are foreigners. As it happened in case of America, whatever Europeans did to the American tribes, they assume that same thing must have happened.
Maybe out of mischief.
Mischief.
Out of mischief. तो कहा कि देखिए, देश के असली मालिक, मेरी दादी बताती थी, उन्होंने इंदिरा जी को कोट किया कि इस देश के असली मालिक जो हैं वो आदिवासी हैं, और बाकी लोगों की, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नाम लेते हुए उसका इम्प्लाइड अर्थ था कि जो बाकी लोग बाहर के हैं, बाकी लोग एक तो बाहर के हैं, और उनकी नजर आपकी जंगल, जमीन और जल पे है। अब और दूसरा उन्होंने एक और बयान दिया कि इंडिया इज ए यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स। इंडिया इज ए यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स। 1947 में देश पैदा हुआ। अगर ये देश 1947 में पैदा हुआ तो सन 1600 में अंग्रेजों ने ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी किसके लिए बनाई थी? और राहुल गांधी कोई साधारण व्यक्ति नहीं, वो देश के सबसे पुराने राजनीतिक दल के नेता हैं, और ऐसे नेता हैं।
वो केवल उतना नहीं कहा उन्होंने कहा कि आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया 1947 में पैदा हुआ। फिर उन्होंने कहा कि भारत की जो आइडेंटिटी है वो निगोशिएबल है। इसका मतलब अगेन यूरोपियन कंस्ट्रक्ट के
तो
भाई
नहीं, वो देखिए, ये इसके पीछे एक मिस्चिफ है, शरारत है, षड्यंत्र है। ये जो कांग्रेस के बेसिक एथिक्स हैं, एथोस है, उसके खिलाफ है। गांधी जी ने हिंद स्वराज में 1909 में लिखा था कि नो टू इंग्लिशमैन आर अलाइक द वे टू इंडियंस आर। तो ये देश तो शताब्दियों से एक है। Decolonization of Indian mind started in the real sense in 2014, and see what happened from 1947 to 2007, 60 years, and we reached a economic size of 1 trillion. In the first 60 years of our independence, our economy became 1 trillion. In next 7 years, up to 2014, the economy added another trillion. From 2014 to 19, including the non-active COVID years, we added yet another trillion, and now we are close to being 4 trillion economy. 4 trillion economy. In 2014, we were the 10th largest economy. Now we are the 5th largest economy. We have overtaken Britain, once our colonial masters, but we are destined to become now the 3rd largest economy, another 3 years or so. We were one of the most innovative and progressive economies of the world. When women had no rights in our society, women were mathematicians, they were leading in education, and you must have, all of us know about the debate between Mandal, Mish and Shankaracharya. Now, two greatest scholars of their times are debating. But who is the judge? Who is the judge? That is Mandal Mishra's wife. So that was the status of the woman. We were a very progressive society. And it is because of the burning of Nalanda and another almost 7, 8 universities.
Big universities. Where foreign universities used to come. Bharvi was there, Vikramashila was there.
1193 to 1200, these universities were destroyed. And all well-known universities of Europe, which have contributed a great deal in Europe's progress in technology, logic, medicine, they were established almost at the same time. Destruction hai, construction there. And this is how there is a developmental gap. But now we are covering fast, and if we can get the right narratives, I have absolutely no doubt that India would be, may not be the only leading nation, but will be one of the leading nations in the world in next 5 years.
So at some level, we are Indians, Hindus, carrying our linguistic or caste identities maybe, and still intellectually taken over by the Western ideas, Western knowledge system, or their pattern of decoding knowledge. So How far your book, one is understanding this entire network or Mayajal or the confusion that is being created by narratives, but the bigger question is how to get rid of it.
See, the biggest asset in this war of ideas is the correct information, the right information. I won't claim that I have given something very original in this book. Most of the ideas, almost all the ideas, which are discussed in detail in this book, have been dealt with by various scholars at one point or the other. Whatever is reflected in this book is a cherry picking for almost 5,000 books. And that too, starting from Vedas to right up to now, this point of time. So if one follows the content, then one is fully equipped to dismantle the disruptive, divisive narrative which the colonials and the communists have built for us. So this is how we can.
No, that is my concern is, okay, we will deconstruct, we will dismantle, we will destroy. The real challenge is, do you believe that if it is done, then our original thinking will automatically come out, or we will have to take a special effort?
See, fortunately, there is nothing like original or non-original in Indian way of thinking. We are Sanatan. Sanatan means what? जो नित्य प्रति पुरातन भी है और नित्य प्रतिदिन नूतन भी है. So we are not a people who are stuck at Vedas or Upanishads or Brahma Sutras or Puranas. We are people who try to build on that. This is why I refuse to call Hinduism what we call it Hinduism. It is not an identity we gave ourselves. It is an identity which others gave us.
And interestingly, there is, there is no Islamism, there is no Christianism, there is only Hinduism or Buddhism, which is not ism.
So this is a ever growing idea, and this is why I don't call it even a religion. I don't call it a religion. It is a philosophy, and there is no full stop in philosophy. There is always thesis, antithesis, improvement, and there cannot be an end to human thinking and mind. We need to re-establish, and not for the sake of India, for the sake of the world, the culture that ideas can always be challenged. Ideas can always be revised. And we have to be very and careful about ideologies and creeds which claim that they have the last word, and after that no thinking is possible. Fortunately, I come from a tradition where the sky is the limit, and I can continue to experiment, think and share my thoughts without being termed as a heretic or a kafir.
Thank you, Balbirji. Friends, the linear thinking, that is the only contribution perhaps of the Western world, where they think either end of history or Qayamat ki Raat or doomsday or whatever. Here the life is circular. We are always moving, and revolving around ourselves. So vade jayate tattva bodha has been the philosophy. And Balbir ji, we are really thankful, not just for coming here and discussing, mainly for coming up with this book, which will at least decode the confusions that is existing in Indian minds today. And as they say, to get rid of the darkness, you just have to light a small lamp. I believe Balbir ji, in the intellectual battle to re-establish India's Indianness of Vade Tattva Bodha, has lit very important lamp for us. I'm sure all of you would take benefit of it, and many of you would take up themes from this and take inspiration.
Amazon, and the book is available at Amazon.
Oh, great. So, Prabhat Prakashan and Amazon, so this book is available, and I hope many of you would take inspiration from this, pick up ideas and reclaim our ideas or the method of discussing ideas on Indian ethos. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
नमस्ते.